Hi everybody, today I'm going to talk about a test bench which is the Banchetto K from a company called MicroCool. MicroCool is an Italian company. They are producing test benches, and this is basically the cheapest one. They've got the Banchetto K. I looked up Banchetto, and strangely enough I thought it meant something like bench in Italian, but it means banquet. So maybe because all your stuff is laid out on this board, it's called a banquet, but I thought it was a bit of a funny name. Anyway, there are loads of reviews on the internet for the Banchetto K. There's also a few YouTube videos how to put it together. It comes in a cardboard box and everything has to be assembled, but that's a 10-15 minute affair, quite simple, and that's ready to go. The first thing that you'll notice is that it's quite large. It has a big footprint, and that's because everything is on one level. Most test benches, and I've reviewed a few, are two-tier things, where on the upper deck is the motherboard and the rest of the stuff elsewhere. This is all laid out flat in one plane, which is great because it gives you easy access to every part of the PC. And as a matter of fact, this test bench comes closest to my ideal test bench. However, there are some modifications which I have made and which I want to share with you. First, a little bit about the test bench. The company has provided us with just a power switch and a lead which fits into the motherboard. There are a lot of standoffs which you can see here, and here are the supports for video cards and other PCI cards. They've provided a couple of slots which I don't find very useful. Either you produce a lot of slots or none, because you'll invariably find that a few slots means that they're always in the wrong place. Also, I can't understand why they have put in these raised islands. They're there for at least, well, for quite a number of fans. You can put 4 fans in these positions, and if they had made that level with the board, you could have used the space to put up other stuff. For example, they have provided locations for a hard disk, which is here, which has to stand upright, or if you use an insert, you can put an SSD card in here like this, also standing upright, which I don't find very helpful, because let's face it, most people build a PC with an SSD card and a hard disk drive and even a CD-ROM drive. So some more space here could be provided by getting rid of these raised islands. So on to oh, by the way, here goes the PSU. On to some modifications which I've made on the internet. There is a modification where people have made holes here for some cable management and some other holes, so that the main power supply unit cable can come out there, close to the socket where it goes to. I don't find it necessary. I find it okay for the cables to run over the board. What I've done is, and it's one thing which I found lacking, was that I found that the board on a slick surface moves a lot. If you plug in a SATA cable or a video cable or a USB stick, the whole board started to move. So I put in some rubberized feet. The thing itself doesn't have rubberized feet, and this will basically provide it from sliding back and forth, and that is something which they could have provided us quite easily and quite simply with. The other thing is I've added a reset switch, which I found lacking. This is a nice black one which I just happen to have, nothing special with that. And I also added 2 LED lights, one for power and one for hard disk activity, which I find very useful while testing boards. Okay, the power supply LED, of course, if the fans are spinning, you can see that there is power going to the motherboard, but geez, you know, why not have a nice blinking or nice steady light here. Another thing which I've done is instead of having these standoffs and then you have to tighten your motherboard using a thumb screw, which I found very fiddly. Particularly there are places on the motherboard where you can't just, where your fingers just won't fit. So what I've done is I bought plastic screws, and I've screwed them in there so the motherboard will just hook over those plastic screws. Again, a very simple, easy change modification to this great test bench. So, in my view, a great test bench, but I think that the company MicroCool should have provided it with a reset button, two lights. These plastic supports are very handy, and an anti-slip profile on the side to prevent it from sliding back and forth. And I think they should get rid of these islands. These islands are meant to take these, so you can fit a fan. Now you'll probably agree with me that the screw holes for fans are notoriously difficult to tighten, so you want to do that not while it's in place but separately. But then of course if you attach the fan to this support, there's no way that you can manage to screw it tight to the board, so that's a bit useless. I would have done it differently. I would have made this level to the board. Also here on the other side, make it level to the board so you can use it also as space to lie stuff flat, like for example a hard disk, and on top the SSD, and maybe underneath even a CD-ROM drive. And now of course that is made more difficult by these raised islands. Okay, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.